This is section 12.4, multiplying binomials. What we're basically doing today is putting some things together that you know how to do, and we're just kind of combining those. When we're multiplying binomials, we are basically using the distributive property, but we're using it twice. And we'll see that in a minute. But the first thing you're going to need to be able to do is you're going to see this when you do homework or whatever. You'll see tables like this. So I'm going to do a few of these for you with the tables and just kind of show you how it's worked, and then we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what we're doing. This is, let me get a better color here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting this problem here, and in the book the problem will already be there for you. So I've got a 4x and a positive 1, and here I've got a 2x and a positive 3. Now the table is saying, okay, with each cell in the table, you're going to multiply the row with the column. So this is 2x times 4x, that's 8x squared. Okay, this is 4x times 3, which is 12x. This is 2x times 1, which is 2x. And this is 3 times 1, which is 3. Okay, do you see that? So we're just actually multiplying the row by the column, and we're writing the answers in the cells. So we'll do one more of these. Again, the book will have it written down for you. But let's do this one. I've got negative m plus 2. Then I've got 5m plus 2. Okay, row and column. 5m times negative m is negative 5m squared. 5m times 2 is 10m. Then I've got 2 times negative m, which is negative 2m. Then 2 times 2 is 4. And that is simply how you do a table. Now, what we did here in doing this table is the same thing we're going to do when we multiply binomials without a table. We're basically taking this and multiplying it by both of these things, and taking this and multiplying it by both of these things. Okay, so it's basically the distributive property that we're using. The FOIL method, I'm going to tell you what these letters mean, and we'll look at it. First letter is F for firsts. That means you multiply the first numbers in each parentheses. Then the O is outside, so that means you multiply the outside numbers in each parentheses. Inside would be the two inside numbers, and then the two last numbers would be here and here. That is the FOIL method. Okay, and that's what FOIL stands for. Do you have to know that? Absolutely not. Okay, what you need to know is that each thing in this parentheses gets multiplied by each thing in this parentheses. So in other words, I'm using the distributive property on both. So it's this time this, and this time this. So that's going to be x squared. That's going to be negative 9x. Then it's going to be this time this, and this time this. That's going to be 5x plus 5x minus 45. Now the thing about this is my middle two terms here are like terms. If you notice, I've got a negative 9x and a positive 5x. Those can be added together. That gives me x squared minus 4x minus 45. And I'm finished. Okay, so again, we multiplied this by each thing, this by each thing. We got an answer. We got 4 terms. My middle two terms are like terms, so we added those together and we ended up with a 3-term polynomial, trinomial. Okay, look at the next one. Let's multiply the first together. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. That's k squared, because k times k is k squared. 8k times negative 5 is negative 40k. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3k. And negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Okay, so we have the middle two terms that are like terms. Negative 24k squared is my first term. I'm putting it in standard form. Then I've got a negative 37k from a middle term, and then positive 5 from the last term for a trinomial. Okay, here we got first, that's negative 10z squared. We got the outsides, negative 2z. We got the insides, which is 60z. We've got the last, which is 12. My two middle terms add together. That's negative 10z squared plus 58z plus 12. And we're done. Next one. Multiply the first. B times b is b squared. The outsides would be plus 9b. That's a 9. The insides would be plus 4b. And then the last would be 9 times 4, which is 36. Two middle terms add together. So that is b squared plus 13b plus 36. And that is done. Okay, moving on here. Multiply the first, that's m squared. Multiply the outsides, that's negative 2m. Multiply the insides, that's negative 3m. Then multiply the last, it's positive 6. That's m squared, and that's going to be a minus 5m plus 6. And that's done. Next one, 5d times 2d. That's going to be 10d squared. 5d times 7 is positive 35d. Negative 1 times 2d is negative 2d. Then negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. That gives me 10d squared plus 33d minus 7. And that is done. Okay, and that's simply, we're simply using distributive property with each term in the parentheses. I've got to multiply this by both things, then I have to multiply this by both things. And then I usually have to add the middle two terms, because they're like terms usually, and to get one term, get a trinomial, 3-term polynomial. Next one, find the area of both rectangles. Well, the area of a rectangle, if you remember, and should remember, is area equals base times height. Okay, so for this inner rectangle, the base is 7x, the height is 4x. So 7x times 4x, 7 times 4 is 28, x times x is x squared. And that's going to be unit squared, whatever that is. But the inner triangle, or inner rectangle, is that. Now for the outer rectangle, I need to know this length. Well, this length is simply this length with this added on and this added on, right? So that is 7x. Well, all the way around, it's 2 inches. So it's 7x plus 2, which is 7x plus 4. Okay, now here, this length here is going to be 4x, and I'm just going to add this and this together with this. So it's 4x plus 2, which is 4x plus 4. Now to find the area, I still use the same formula, base times height, but I've got to multiply two binomials to do that. Okay, and so 4x plus 4. So 7x times 4x is 28x squared. 7x times 4, that's here, that's going to be 28x. 4 times 4x is 16x, and we get 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, middle two terms here are like terms, so I'm going to rewrite it up here, 28x squared. We're going to add 28 and 16, which is going to be 44, plus 44x, plus 16. And this is the area of the larger rectangle. Now to have square units, so if we were to do that, it'd be units squared. Area is always square units, whatever the units are. This one has none, so it's just square units. And I believe that is all we're going to be doing with binomial multiplication. That is it.